Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here. Welcome into HCAM Sports Talk. In just a moment, we'll have the guys joining us, Andy Barron and Jarred Keene, and possibly Steve Watson. He's a wait-and-see tonight. But in any case, we'll discuss NFL and a whole lot more. But first, here are the latest Hopkinton Hillers happenings.
Welcome in to the 2023-2024 season. The crowd is electric, and we are just about ready for kickoff here at David M. Hughes Stadium. Winslow set to kick, a pair back to receive for Wayland, and the kick is end over end. It'll sail back to the 10-yard line, and it'll get by Benjamin Wright, who is back to receive, but he will down it in the end zone for a touchback, and he got lucky there that he made contact with the ball.
Came through his hands, and then it rolled through the back of the end zone for the touchback.
His defense gets a good stop.
Yeah, they were really driving, and then they really hurt themselves with that long penalty.
The snap and the kick. It's a high-flying punt by Mekhi Walker over to the far side, and it's fumbled at the 20. Loose ball, and it's going to be Wayland football. So the Hillers got away with one there, I'd say, Wally.
Yeah, that's a close one. I guess he must have caught it momentarily with his knee already on the ground.
I mean, I don't want Wayland to have the turnover, but I'm a little surprised, I must say.
Quick whistle.
As they're going to line it up with Rivard out of the gun, and it's going to be a direct run up the middle. That doesn't go very far. Out of the gun they go. Back to pass. He'll throw to his right. It is caught by Pantera, and here he goes up the near side, across midfield, past the 40, and he's dragged down just shy of the 35.
That's going to be a flag there for the horse collar tackle, too.
Rivard going to line it up out of the gun. Cooper Fossbender is in the backfield. Motion from right to left. Fossbender gets the call, cutting towards the near side, and he will be brought down with his at around the 11 as he came down. So a nice little pickup there. Alfaro. Three receivers lined up to his left. Takes the snap, hands it off. No, he's going to fake and takes it near side and rushes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Great play. Play action to Bellafato. Everybody bid on the fake, and Rivard was able to just walk into the end zone untouched.
And that is going to be a loss of a couple.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter there.
He didn't line it up. The offset eye, and he will hand it off. Ooh. Run up the middle. There goes Walker, bursting through. See you later. And that is the captain, Max Dressens, all the way to the end zone. A 52-yard touchdown run.
Or 3rd and 5.
Snap and the kick end over end, and it's good.
Yeah, the Hillers had them back 3rd and 5. Then the encroachment gave them the first down, and then they next play, 50-yard touchdown.
I feel like the field goal abilities are
right.
Rivard out of the gun, Bellafato in the backfield, two receivers either side. Takes the snap, throws to the left side, and it's batted away.
And there's no flags, and that'll be the end of the half.
I think the reason why the refs didn't throw the flag is the receiver's head was turned towards the ball, and that was very good defensive coverage in the end zone. I believe that was Benjamin Wright on coverage who was able to take Perryman out of the play, and that'll do it for the first half, but we very much have ourselves a good game here, and at the halftime break, it is Wayland 7, Hillers 6, a whole nother half to go. Michael Keenan and the offense back out on the field.
Walker in motion.
Out of the gun he goes. He'll hand it off. Run up the middle. It's going to be a big run. Dressens, and will take a big hit as he gets to about the 37 or so relatively quickly here. as they will hand it off. Coming out of the backfield, it's none other than Dressens. Looks like he's the workhorse so far for this drive as he fights his way up to the 32.
First and 15 from the 20.
Out of the gun they go. Snap, and he'll go play action. Throws to his right, a wide open man, and into the end zone goes Owen Finnegan, a 20-yard touchdown reception. Dylan Englehart set for the extra point. He's 1 for 1 so far today.
Ooh,
and this one's blocked. From their own 32, working left to right. Motion from left to right, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, fighting his way forward, and the ball came out. Was he down, though?
They're calling it down.
Coming out where there was Evan Fitzpatrick. Oh, it's going to be Hiller's football.
He's going to be ready for it. Now it's all about who gets lower.
Wayland fans getting loud as Rivard takes the snap, hands it off to Belafonte, and he is going to have enough plus some, shooting up the far side. It looks like he's brought out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, he was able to get through the line, then burst it out to the sideline, and then take it down the sideline for another 15 yards.
Rivard out of the pistol, Fossbender in the backfield, Fossbender up the middle, and looks like he's going to be stopped short.
Bent backwards.
Maybe a yard or two.
Yeah,
it's going to be another handoff to Fossbender, and he is stopped either right at the line of scrimmage or for a small loss.
There you go.
And it off the snap, keeper up the middle. Touchdown Hillers. Julian Rivard on the keeper.
That's his second touchdown with a keeper tonight.
The snap and the kick. And it is good. Tie game. In the second half, alone, he has 38 yards rushing on 4 attempts. And he's going to get the call again here. And he's going to burst up the middle.
Wow.
And fight his way into Hiller territory before being brought down by Reese Goldweber.
Yeah.
Out of the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off. Dressens fighting his way up the middle. The defense ready for it. It looks like who's out there at quarterback? Okay, they do indeed have Keenan in the game. Finnegan is lined up to the right of him. Takes the snap, and he'll hand it off. And marching into the end zone is Dressens. That is a 9-yard touchdown run by the captain, Max Dressens. Englehart has done a nice job with the Wayland kicking game tonight. He'll send this one end over end, and it'll be retrieved at around the 6 or 7. And here he goes, fighting his way up the middle, and a pretty good return as he fought his way to about the 33-yard line. Rivard lines it up out of the gun, motion along the right side, takes the snap, looking up the middle. It's caught by Pantera at midfield. A 17-yard pickup. Line goes the offense. Rivard out of the gun. Man in the backfield, motion right to left, takes the snap. Looking to his right, airs it out towards Pantera. It's caught!
And he's gone! He's gone! He's got a touchdown!
Touchdown! Hillers! A 50-yard touchdown reception!
Sam Pantera really fighting off the defender.
Unbelievable! And it's a tie game. Wayland fans making some noise. Snap, kick, and it is good! Hillers take the lead!
Wow, great play.
Keenan gonna line it up out of the gun. Motion in the backfield. He's going to toss it back over to Walker. Walker looking for some space. Fighting his way to the far side. Up the sideline he goes, and a big gainer there.
And he gets out of bounds. Bad snap.
No snap, and he covers it up. And that is a huge break for the Hillers as he lands on it at the 35, a loss of 3.
And Wayland's that's going to cost them a timeout to stop the clock.
Play action, back to pass, throws to the left, and it's pass dropped by his intended target, Walker. Great defensive play by Ja'Kai Belafano.
It's almost like the chains aren't even an issue almost at this point.
You know they're going big here. Keenan.
Oh, jailbreak, and they've got him.
Brought down.
Big sack.
Big sack there by the captain, chasing Gerard. There we go. Keenan lines up out of the gun. Takes the snap, pitches it back. A run up the near side. It's the captain, Dressings, and he's brought down.
And that's it. That's the game.
That'll seal the deal. The Hopkinton Hillers are going to take it by a final of 20-19. What a win by the Hillers. They come from behind to start the season 1-0.
They get the ball back with 1:14 to go, down by 6, and win the game in regulation.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and I am joined right now by Andy Barron from MyFM 101.3, and we have Jarred Keene here as well. And Jarred, I apologize, I forget what entity you have been working with lately. I believe it's BostonLAX.net or something like that.
Yeah, I was obviously doing some games for BostonLax.net. I might do a few football games this year for New England Football Journal, help Kevin and John out a little bit. But yeah, we'll see how that kind of goes. But for now, still just HCAM contributor.
Absolutely, and a heavily valued contributor. I'm glad we were able to work out your 6-digit contract with your agent to get you back on the show.
Well earned.
Happy NFL season, fellas.
It's good to be back, guys. It's good to be back.
Absolutely. Did you all enjoy week 1? I thought of some good games, some boring games, but it's nice to have football back.
Well, I was telling you before I came on how I fell asleep during the Browns-Bengals game, and that was interesting. But yeah, it was good to have it back. It was just a weird Sunday. I don't know if it's because it was the weather. I mean, just so hot and humid, thunderstorms, rain. On Saturday, how many lightning delays were in college football? It was insane.
All over
really,
the place.
everywhere,
Yep.
everywhere had a delay. But
UMass had a couple, I think. I think that's where Steve went.
BC and Holy Cross had a delay. UMass did. But it just seems like everywhere. That's what you get in early September. You're still in summer. You still don't know. But it was good to have the NFL back for sure. Yes.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk some NFL. Unfortunately, we weren't able to be with you folks for our week 1 picks, but we did make our picks as we do every week. And we'll make our week 2 picks on this show and run through all the games. But the week 1 results, as of right now, we're recording on a Monday, so we don't have the Monday Night Football result yet. But right now, it is me and Mike at the top at 10-5. Jarred is right on our heels in second at 9-6. Andy's right in there at 8-7. And Steve might as well just quit now. He's 7-8.
He's not here to defend himself. I mean,
Taking shots, man. Early shots.
I tell you what, the 4:00 hour saved me yesterday because I did not do well in the 1:00 hour, with the exception of my Cleveland Browns pick. But
which was a phenomenal pick, by the way. That might have been the pick of the weekend. That was a hell of a pick.
I think my 49ers pick was the pick of the weekend.
that was a good pick. And the Lions, oh my goodness.
If someone
I don't know what I was doing taking Pittsburgh. I'm so mad I didn't switch to San Fran. That's just, I don't know. That was dumb.
The Steelers did not look ready to play that game.
No, they didn't.
Well, I'll tell you this. I didn't expect the Steelers to look that bad. They were
horrible.
They
horrible.
Just crushed. I thought that was going to be a close back and forth game. I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Let me say this, guys. Brock Purdy is the real deal.
Yep.
That 49ers team is legit.
Brandon Ayuk had a nice game yesterday, too. He had, 8 for 120 and 2 TDs?
Yeah.
I mean, their defense, that's a good team.
The problem is their coaching. Why do they still hang on to this guy? He's in the way. That team is good enough to win a Super Bowl. That defense is nasty they have. I mean, it's probably the best in the NFL.
They're certainly up there, if not the best. Their defense is just unbelievable. They got a great pass rush, great corners. There's really no weakness in that defense for the 49ers. And I think that's what made it so hard for the Steelers in week one is they're kind of working in some new tools and they have a newer quarterback. And then you got to go against that defense, which is very experienced and good across the board. That is an ugly week one matchup to have. But we want to talk a little bit about what happened in some of these week one games before we get into the week two picks. A couple notes that I made, guys, about the Patriots game against the Eagles. Now, first, I'll say this. That game went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I did not expect that game to be that close. It ended up being an Eagles 26-20 win. And it was a game, 25-20.
25-20.
And that was a game that I thought the Patriots could have had. It really came down to the decision not to go for a field goal when you were, I think they were at like the 25-yard line, 26-yard line, something like that. And they chose to go for it instead and ultimately came up with no points. And if they went for that field goal at the end of the game on their last drive, they were very much in field goal range and they could have took the game 26-25. So that was certainly a factor in the game. I thought Mac Jones was impressive. Besides that ugly pick six, I thought he did good. I thought he looked good. And it actually looks like Bill O'Brien has brought the New England Patriots something they've needed for quite a while now, and that is an offense, an actual NFL offense, which was very nice to see. They didn't look like the high school offense, no offense to high school teams, that they had last year. They were able to open up the passing game, utilize their targets. Hunter Henry had a big day. Kendrick Bourne had a huge day, which was great. One guy that I felt they were kind of missing in that game is Jacoby Myers. You look at what he did in the Raiders-Broncos game where the Raiders ended up coming up with the 1-point win. He had 9 receptions, 81 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. And he just had himself a day, 10 targets. They replaced him with Smith-Schuster, who looked kind of lost out there on the field for the Pats, did not look like he was ready. He only had 4 receptions, 33 yards, had a couple bad drops as well, and 7 targets. So I guess let's get into it. What were your thoughts about that Pats-Eagles game? I think the team certainly is overall going to take a step up on the offensive side last year. And before I forget, the defense, they looked pretty great to be able to stop that Eagles offense on several occasions, especially when you're down 16-0 and not let that game get away from you. Kudos to the Patriots defense. They looked pretty good this past Sunday. Andy, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts about that Pats-Eagles game?
Well, kind of piggybacking off what you said, Tom, I thought the Patriots were going to get absolutely throttled in this game. I think everybody did. It was a disastrous start for this team. Here's the bottom line. You cannot give up 16 points right off the bat to any team. Any team. This team was sleepwalking for the first 2 quarters. They didn't even look like they wanted to be there. Everything went wrong for them. And I think the Eagles kind of coasted after that. I think after 16-0, they kind of stopped playing, and the Patriots got back in the game. Kendrick Bourne, yes, was great. I texted all of you and told you this. Where the hell was this guy last year? He's a difference maker on the field. The guy can play. He's not a number 1 receiver. He's a pretty darn good number 2. Okay? Hunter Henry looks great. He's a really good tight end. Mike Gesicki, didn't see a lot of him out there, but I think that tandem really could be something. Offensive line, they actually played pretty well. I think Mac Jones may have got sacked twice, 1 or 2 times, but not much. And that's a very veteran Philadelphia defense they went against. But, here's the bottom line. Yeah, the Patriots defense played well. They did make a stop at the end. I thought Philadelphia made some bad calls there as well. But when the Patriots got the ball back, I just knew they weren't going to win. Like this is not Tom Brady, New England Patriots anymore. Mac Jones, yeah, he actually didn't play that bad. He did make some really nice passes, but when the game was on the line, I knew he wasn't going to come through. And like I wasn't excited with that last 2 minutes. When Tom Brady and that offense used to come on the field, you was must see TV. I didn't feel that way yesterday.
The thing is, I
And
don't think you compare anyone to Brady. I mean, I
no,
think that's an expectation that is just,
sure, of
beyond
course,
what you could have, I think.
totally agree. There's only
Anyone.
one Tom. There's only one Tom Brady. But what I'm saying is I just don't think Mac Jones can win you a football game. Like he showed some spurts. He actually some of the passes he made, but the pick six was horrible. You cannot make that throw. Where is the coaching on this team? Like this is like you go for it on a 4th and 17. You pass up a field goal on the 25-yard line. You had a field goal kicker in Nick Folk, and he's gone. Like I just don't under. This team is so frustrating to watch.
And that was another thing. They drafted a kicker in the 4th round. I can't even remember his name right now.
Highland, I think was his name.
Sure.
Something.
We'll go with that.
Yeah,
But Nick Folk, I think he had the best kicking percentage in the league last year. And
yes.
And you bring in this new kicker. Did they not use him because they don't have faith in him? Because if that's the case, they made a big mistake getting rid of Nick Folk, who had a
Absolutely
pretty nice day in Tennessee yesterday.
Yeah, nice day in Tennessee yesterday. And here's just one more thing I want to say. I'm just it's just so frustrated with this team. But Devontae Parker out again. You signed this guy to $33 million, but you couldn't sign DeAndre Hopkins to that. What? Come on. What is this team doing? Like, and I'm not saying he would have been the answer to this team, but you know what? That'd be some guy you have to prepare for. Because Devontae Parker, you stuck with him now for 3 more years. He can't get on the field. I mean, I'm so frustrated with this team. Jarred, you talk. I'm
Go
done.
ahead, Jarred. Go for it. What are your thoughts?
I don't know what I can say that's not really already been said. I mean, again, Andy is spot on. You can't spot a team like that 16 points right off the bat. That's a recipe to lose. I mean, again, we did a nice job getting back in the game. Defense played well, helped us get back in the game. But again, I mean, the pick six by Mac was awful. I know Steve would think otherwise, but that was just a terrible throw. That was an absolutely terrible throw. You didn't even give the receiver a chance there. But again, that being said, one of the things, and this is going to sound really cliche, but one of the things I was focused on the most yesterday with this game, team aside, was just Mac. I wanted to see some progression from Mac, and I saw it. He made some really sharp throws. Looked really crisp on a lot of those drives. I mean, again, Andy's right. In that kind of moment when you kind of probably need him to deliver, you kind of had a feeling he wasn't going to deliver. And that's kind of a shame. But at least, I saw him make some really nice throws yesterday. Look good leading the offense. Very impressed with that. I mean, again, after the early pick six, he could have easily had a stinker. 3 picks, 150 yards, maybe 1 TD, whatever. Crap game by all means. But no, he rebounded nicely and really, really, really looked good. Again, he's just got to kind of learn to, really try to step up in some big moments down the stretch. And that's something I think he'll probably learn as he continues. Ezekiel Elliott, rough day. 25 yards, lost a fumble as well. But yeah, I mean, Hunter Henry, again, Kendrick Bourne, spot on. Just really look good. And
Well, Ezekiel Elliott did hit the over for rushing yards, believe it or not.
But yeah, I don't have much else. I mean, again, a good effort against defending Super Bowl runner-up. And that kind of gives me some hope for the rest of the season. But I mean, again, you want to see kind of Mac deliver in those situations, and again, you just kind of had a feeling that he probably wasn't going to deliver, and that's kind of what happened. And obviously, the field goal, the decision not to go for the field goal was atrocious. I mean, Steve was spot on in the text chain. You have to coach better.
Yeah,
you got completely outcoached yesterday, and Yeah.
Hey, Jared, let me ask you this. Do you wish Jacoby Myers was here still?
I think he would certainly add a dimension to our offense. I mean, again, is he a downfield threat? No, but you can see what his production. I mean, yesterday he came out with Jimmy G, 9 catches for 80 yards and 2 TDs. Production.
And I think people forget too, like they think of that Raiders game and how he just had that atrocious play where he tried to pitch the football back and the Raiders intercepted it.
Yep.
He lost the game. But, he was pretty good last year. And he was really only one of the receivers. There wasn't many receivers coming through for you, and he was one of them.
I hope Devontae Parker does come through. I mean, again, Andy, I know you're frustrated. It's a frustrating situation. But I will say I also think Juju Smith-Schuster will be fine. Again, was it ideal debut for him yesterday? No. But, I think as he kind of grasps the offense a little bit more, he'll deliver with some big plays this season.
Jarred, and Tom, I also want your comments on this, but I think Kayshon Boutte's got a lot of potential.
He does. Very impressive.
He's got some speed, and he's a rookie, and I think people were getting on him a little too much yesterday.
You can't give him too high of a ceiling. Don't give him too high of a ceiling. Let him do his thing. Let him develop. Yeah.
This guy was potentially a first-round draft pick when he got hurt. I don't know. Like, I think they might have got a steal here. I mean, it just, again, he got open on some plays. And I know Tyquan Thornton was out, but maybe your receivers aren't as bad as we thought. It's just
was he the one that couldn't get both feet in at the end there?
Yeah, but
he's a rookie, so you almost have to forgive him for that. It's his first
but I think he's got talent.
I agree. He looked pretty good, but another guy I really liked was Anthony Gonzalez.
Christian Gonzalez.
Christian Gonzalez, excuse me.
Nice play.
He looked good yesterday. Sharp. Really looked nice.
Yeah.
The player that really hurt us was Devontae Smith. I mean, he just had a field day on the Patriots secondary, and you can really tell where the missing Devin McCourty, it just...
I mean, his chemistry with Jalen Hurts is immense. Obviously, Alabama guys, did it a couple of years ago together. And I mean, Devontae Smith won the Heisman that year. The guy is legit. I mean, I know he kind of maybe takes a second fiddle to A.J. Brown, quote unquote, there, but I mean, he's legit. What a player.
I still think Philadelphia is a legit team. I still think they're going to be there at the end.
I agree.
I don't know if they're going to win the NFC again because the Super Bowl loser does not fare well the next year.
They'll be there.
They're still going to be a good team. Jalen Hurts is legit. That's a legit offense.
They have good running backs. They can,
I think they're one of the best built teams in the league, no doubt. And I'm sure they're hungry to get back to the Super Bowl after barely losing last year. I'm sure that left a bad taste in their mouths. But the fact that the Pats were able to do what they did in those final three quarters, I mean, if you think about it, Eagles went up 16-0, and then Pats outscored them 20-9.
What a weird game! Just a weird game. Like
it was one of the better games of Week 1. I'll give it.
It was. It was compared to the Dallas Giants game.
What an atrocious game that was! I was at a loss for words last night watching that. That was maybe the most atrocious game I've ever watched in my life.
The Giants
were awful. Like, bad doesn't even begin to describe how awful they were. They were so vanilla. They were so, predictable, everything. Ridiculous.
Horrible.
Absolutely atrocious.
I should have turned that game off 2 hours before I did.
I mean, let's say this. Mac Jones is not as bad as Daniel Jones. I mean, like, that guy.
I mean, Steve pointed out in the text, they just gave Daniel Jones a bunch of money, too. So how you feel about that?
They don't want him. I mean, it's Brian Daboll does not want him on that.
He had a decent season last year. It took a step up. It's one game, so we'll give it a little time, but I don't really have high hopes for Daniel Jones.
I mean, he's not Jalen Hurts or any, you're not going to win with that guy.
Well, I mean, last year it was quite impressive what they did. They had a lot of receiver injuries.
And they kept
plugging guys in there, and they hung around. So they were pretty impressive last year, and I don't think anybody was expecting that kind of horrid performance that they had in Week 1 Sunday.
Yeah, it was bad. bad.
But I do want to get to week 2. We got some picks to do. Our Monday Night Football picks for this Monday. I got the Jets. Andy has the Jets. Jarred, Steve, and Mike all have Buffalo. And with that, we'll get to week 2. Thursday Night Football, week 2. Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to go fly, Eagles, fly on this one. Minnesota, they had kind of a bad loss in week 1, a game that they probably should have won, had many opportunities to, against Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bad loss for Minnesota, and I don't see them getting in the win column against Philly, especially in Philly's home opener. So give me the Eagles. Andy, who do you got?
Philadelphia. Minnesota did not look good this week. They're not an outdoor team. I think the Eagles are going to play much better this week. It's a short week, but I can't see Minnesota going in there winning. It's going to be a raucous crowd. Eagles by probably about 14.
All right, Jarred.
Agreed. That's all I got to say. Agreed. Minnesota, 2 up and down. I mean, again, this is a weird game where Minnesota could come out and like somehow pull off a weird one, but you can't actually legitimately pick Minnesota here, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll be Philly across the board on that one. And by the way, Andy, nice job with the Cleveland pick and the Rams pick. You got that over all of us. I was shocked I was the only one who picked 49ers over Pittsburgh.
That was a big.
I should
have
have switched. I thought about switching and didn't. I was too busy this weekend and didn't text you to switch, and that was dumb. Really dumb.
Once it's written in the book, no switching.
All right.
All right, moving on to the 1:00 Sunday games. Green Bay at Atlanta. The Packers impressed me in week 1 against Chicago. They dominated the Bears. I thought that was going to be a lot closer of a game. Like I think most people were actually expecting the Bears to take a little step up and the Packers maybe to take a step down with the loss of Aaron Rodgers, but that did not end up being the case. Packers look good. Give me Green Bay over Atlanta. Jarred, who do you got?
I want to take Green Bay here, but I think Aaron Jones will be out this week. He hurt his hammy yesterday after having a nice productive day to start out. I think he had couple TDs. Well, he did. He's on my fantasy team, but with him out again, he brought a lot of dynamic. Christian Watson was out yesterday too. We'll see if he's back. This is actually tough. I'm going to go Atlanta here.
All right. Atlanta,
I thought Bijan Robinson looked really good yesterday. He's going to be a player.
Yeah.
He's going to be a player.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
this is kind of a weird pick, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, if Christian Watson is out, Aaron Jones is out, that's 2 big parts of your offense that are going to be out for Green Bay.
It was Carolina, so I guess you can take that one with a grain of salt. But yeah, I mean, you got 2 essentially new quarterbacks going at it in that game. So and Green Bay missing Aaron Jones, that could have a big impact. All right, so you sure Atlanta?
Yeah.
All right, Andy.
It's gonna be a weird one. I could get my butt kicked there, but whatever.
Got to take some risks in this. Speaking of risks, Andy, who do you got?
I'm taking Atlanta as well. They impressed me last week. Good win for the Falcons. I think the Packers had it a little too easy with the Bears. They did look really good, but a lot of injuries, as Jarred pointed out too. This is a big game. Falcons go up 2-0 here. I mean, they could be in prime position there to win the NFC South.
All right, so it should be 2 games in first after that one. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Let's start off with Jarred for this one. Jarred, who do you got?
No surprise here, but I'm going to go Cincinnati. I think they rebound. I think Joe Burrow gets on track. J.K. Dobbins out for the season for Baltimore.
Oh, that's a tough hit for them too.
Yeah, he's had some crap luck with injuries, unfortunately. But I like Cincinnati to rebound after getting just annihilated by Cleveland yesterday in the Battle of Ohio. And give me Cincy. Again, this is probably going to be a tough game. Baltimore is obviously good. Zay Flowers actually looked really good yesterday out of BC. Love that kid,
yes.
Yeah. Dobbins being out, since he's going to be fired up after getting smoked this week. Give me Cincy.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincy at home. For pretty much every reason you just said, I think the same thing. They're going to be fired up, wanting to overcome that tough loss to Cleveland. And Baltimore kind of looked a little shaky, I think, against Houston, who I don't think is going to be a very good team at all. In fact, I think they'll be one of the worst teams in the league. They won, but it didn't really convince me. So I'll take Cincinnati.
I think Andy's going Baltimore here. I can see it. I can see it.
You can read me like a deck of cards. Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore. I'm taking the Ravens. I don't know. The Bengals they looked horrible. And the last couple of years, they've started out the season 0-2. And with the Ravens, I don't know. It's just early in the season. You got Lamar Jackson. I think they get it done. I think they get it done.
All right. Our next game, Seattle at Detroit. How about them Lions taking down the Super Bowl champs in week 1? I love it. Andy, we'll start off with you for this one.
Going with the Lions. How can you not like the Lions? I mean, they just they look good. They went into Kansas City and take out the world champs, as you just said. I mean, I know Kelsey was out, but still don't matter. The Lions don't win a game like that last year. And Jared Goff looks good. I think he's reinvented himself in Detroit. It's weird how like he leaves the Rams, Stafford goes out there and wins the Super Bowl, but I think Jared Goff has played well in Detroit. And he seems to fit that offense perfectly. If you're a Lions fan, how can you not be upbeat here? I think the Lions can win the NFC North. I think they're good enough. They beat Seattle.
Speaking of Jared, who do you got?
I think this is actually going to be a really close game. This is actually a really hard game to pick because I think Seattle is not going to be happy with getting their butt kicked by the Rams this weekend. A Cooper Cup-less Rams, by the way. So I think Seattle is going to be pretty jacked up, but I'm not going to go against the Lions here after what I saw in week 1. Goff looks good. The running backs look good with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Again, good receivers to throw to. Amon-Ra St. Brown getting in the end zone. What a player he is. I love that guy, man. But yeah, I'm going Lions. I can't pick against the Lions. They did me quite well last year on the way to another HCAM Picks championship.
Well, we're Lions across the board. I'm going Lions too. Everyone, all the critics are talking like Seattle is going to be back where they were last year, take a step up. I'm not sold. That was a bad loss by Seattle.
Their offense was atrocious. Geno Smith threw for 105 yards, 110 yards or something.
Not good.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and every game last year Seattle played, Geno Smith had a great season, but I just didn't expect him to have like a good game for whatever reason it is. And I just wonder, is he coming back down to earth?
Could be.
That could be the case.
That's actually a big fantasy game for me. I have DK Metcalf and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I'll have 2 top-tier receivers going against each other there.
There you go. Hopefully it's a shootout for your sake. All right, Detroit across the board.
Which it could be. It could be. I mean, again, Seattle gave up 30 this weekend to L.A.
Well, I think
Cooper Cup-less L.A.
I think the last time Seattle and Detroit played, it was like a wild game that was crazy scoring. I'll have to look back into the history archives for that result, but I remember those 2 teams specifically playing a wild game. All right, Indy at Houston. I'm going to go Indy, I guess. Oof. I think both teams are going to be bad, really bad. Houston showed some glimpses against Baltimore. I was very torn. Indy gave Jacksonville a little bit of a game, so I don't know. This is like a coin flipper. Give me Indy. Jarred, who do you got?
Yeah, this is not the ideal game. On the spot, give me Indy, I guess. I don't feel great about it, but this is 2 poor teams.
Well, I don't think you'll ever feel great about picking Indy in any game.
2 rookie QBs with Anthony Richardson going against C.J. Stroud.
Andy, who do you got?
I'm going with Houston. I'm not
I
sold.
like it. Nice.
Yeah, I'm. That's my pick
Love
of the
it.
week. I'm not sold on the Colts. I think that team is a mess. They don't have any direction. I think the Texans have got some talent. They're at home, right? That game's in Houston.
Yes.
I think so.
I like the Texans. I think they're going to pull it out.
All right. Me and Jarred for Andy. Andy
That's
for
a
you.
weird place to play too in Houston. Patriots always struggle there for some reason. Like it's just I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Houston wins this game. Again, this is a weird game.
Oh, if the Colts lose, man, that's going to be bad.
I
It's
wouldn't
gonna be like
surprised.
13-9 or something, some crap score.
Yeah, I go with the under for
I think
sure.
D'Amico Ryan is going to be a good coach. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's going to eventually going to get that team, where they need to
It
go.
may not show this year, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
And we have the Raiders at Buffalo, but we're going to skip that pick since we haven't gotten a chance to check out Buffalo yet as we're recording this show. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Tough pick here.
Oh boy.
Andy, who you going with?
I'm going with Jacksonville.
Nice.
Jacksonville gave the Chiefs all they could handle last year. This game's in Jacksonville. That's going to be a raucous crowd. It's going to be hot and humid down there. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. Doug Peterson knows what he's doing. They got a good running game, good receivers. Telling you, the Jaguars are legit, and they're gonna show you on Sunday.
Why did I just let you steal my thunder? I'm going with Jacksonville as well.
I gotta get me like an old throwback like Jacksonville Jaguars jersey, like a Fred Taylor or somebody. Just Jaguars are good. They're good.
Yeah, they look good. I'm going with Jacksonville because I think Kansas City is trying to find themselves a little bit. They'll likely get, their big tight end back next week, but Kelsey. But they are struggling, I think, receiver wise. They have a lot of new faces this year. There's no one that really stands out. And I think Mahomes is kind of struggling with the lack of weapons that the team has. And Jacksonville, they're a team on the rise, I think. They're a team that has some very good weapons, very good quarterback, and I see them trending up. And Jacksonville, you want to talk about a tough place to play, especially weather-wise, Jacksonville could be a very tough place to play at this time of year.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville here. Jarred, who do you got?
I want to take Jacksonville here really badly. Screw it. I'm taking Jacksonville.
Wow.
I think KC will be boosted by the return of Chris Jones and Kelsey. I think you guys saw Chris Jones signed a 1-year deal today, so he'll be back in the defense. Kelsey should be back. It's two players they didn't have last week that should really boost their team on both sides of the ball. But I like this Jacksonville team. They're exciting. Andy pointed out all the reasons. Trevor Lawrence is exciting. Travis Etienne is exciting. They got some exciting receivers now with Calvin Ridley. Zay Jones made an incredible catch yesterday for a touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw that, but again, will I be surprised if Mahomes comes out and throws for like 350 and 4 TDs and KC rolls? I guess I'd be a little surprised, but not too surprised. But give me Jacksonville here. If it comes back to bite me in the ass, so be it.
Well, that's the risk you take about picking.
This is a tough game to pick. This is a really tough game to pick.
See, at any game, Mahomes could come out no matter who it's against and just have a day.
Right.
So it's always a risk, but I feel confident about Jacksonville in this one for whatever reason that may be. But I think for one show, we should all get Jacksonville jerseys and not tell Steve, and then we'll all have Jacksonville jerseys on. Just leave him wondering. All right, Andy had to step away for a moment. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But we got Chicago at Tampa Bay as our next game. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Mayfields here. He looked pretty good last week. They got a big win over what's supposed to be a good Minnesota team. I like the way the offense looks. I thought the Tampa defense was excellent in that game.
They were.
So they look pretty good. And I think last year was just kind of a fluky year for them. They returned a lot of their defensive weapons and added a bit to their offense. So give me Tampa Bay in this one. And I still think Chicago's a bit of a mess too. Jarred, who are you going with?
Again, I think this is another weird game to pick because Tampa could easily come out and lay a stinker this week. Yeah, I mean, Chicago still has a few things to figure out. Yeah, I'll go Tampa. But again, another game where if Chicago wins, I wouldn't be too surprised. So, again, this could be a game where Justin Fields gets on track. They get it going a little bit, and Tampa kind of, yeah. But yeah, I guess I'll go Tampa.
All right, Tampa it is. All right, and we'll get Andy's picks later. You had to step away.
Yeah.
LA Chargers at Tennessee. I liked what I saw out of the Chargers. What a shootout they had with Miami. That was
I'm going Chargers here. Tannehill looked awful yesterday for the Titans.
All right, Chargers across the board. Yeah, Tennessee. They got to find their rhythm for sure.
Yeah,
and I wonder if Tannehill's going to start to downgrade this season a little bit.
Oh man, the Saints D played well yesterday, but he was awful.
Yeah, no, and let's not forget they got rid of like all their receiver weapons. They only have Derrick Henry left, really. All right, 4:00 games. Giants at Arizona.
Gosh.
Jarred, you can pick first.
Barn burner. I can't pick the Giants, so I'm picking Arizona by default.
Yeah, I got to agree. I thought like maybe the Giants could rebound, but they're on the road in Arizona, and they just look so bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Arizona.
Again, this could be a game where, again, the Giants rebound. But, after, again, what I saw last night, I can't pick the Giants.
Yep, I agree.
I can't do it.
All right, San Francisco at the Rams. I'm going 49ers.
49ers. Definitely. They were impressive. Again, Rams had a nice win yesterday against Seattle, but, to try to do that against San Fran now, that would be, if you come out and beat San Fran, that would be impressive, but I don't see it happening.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. All right, Jets at Dallas. We're going to skip that game since we haven't got a chance.
That could be a really good game. That could be a spicy game.
I think it will be a great game for sure. I think that's going to be an awesome game. I think that might be the game of the week right there.
Could be.
Absolutely. But we'll see how the Jets look on Monday night. All right, Washington at Denver. I think Denver, they got Sean Payton in there now. Their offense looked a little better than last season against the Raiders. It certainly wasn't anything overly impressive, but it looked a little bit better. And Washington, they beat Arizona, which was kind of expected. We all picked Washington. Their rookie quarterback looked decent in that game, but I got to go Denver just because of the experience factor here.
I'm going Washington, actually. I like Sam Howell. I mentioned this in the text chain. He's going to be a good quarterback. Again, he might struggle a little bit, but he's got a big arm, has good weapons to throw to between McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. Give me Washington here.
All right. Washington it is. All right. Miami at New England. Sunday night football next week from Gillette Stadium. As much as I thought New England looked better than I expected, I think this Miami offense is just too much to deal with. I thought Tua looked very good against the Chargers.
Tua was immense yesterday.
Oh, he certainly was. And I think he's going to be immense in this game, and New England's going to have a tough time stopping Tyreek Hill and all the other weapons that Miami has. So I got to go Dolphins here. Hopefully I'm wrong. But, Jarred, who do you got?
You're spot on. I don't want to pick the Dolphins, but I'm going to pick the Dolphins because, their offense, they got so much speed, man. Again, Tua was very impressive yesterday. I hope I'm wrong, but I can't not pick the Dolphins.
We pick with our brains on this show, not our hearts. All right, Monday Night Football. Well, besides Steve. Monday Night Football. We have a double dose of Monday Night Football. New Orleans at Carolina. There's no way I'm picking Carolina in this one. New Orleans looked really good.
Pretty good yesterday too. I like New Orleans there.
Yep, and I think they're my favorite to win the NFC South for sure. All right, Cleveland at Pittsburgh. No way I'm picking Pittsburgh after that atrocious performance. I know it was against a very good 49ers defense, but Cleveland's riding high right now, and I like what Cleveland has going defensively. They look pretty good. I think it's going to be a close one, but give me the Browns in this one. Jarred, who do you got?
Oh, God. The easy pick is to pick the Browns, but again, I think this is a game where maybe Pittsburgh bounces back. Do I pick Pittsburgh 2 weeks in a row and get burned? No, I'm going to take Cleveland.
All right. Cleveland across the board. We'll get the rest of Andy's picks later, and we'll post the picks on the HCAM website as well, hcam.tv. But there it is, week 2, and we have just a few minutes left. So, Jarred, any final thoughts before we wrap up today's show?
Final thoughts. Oh, man, unprepared. I watch a lot of tennis, especially when the big tournaments are on. U.S. Open. Congratulations to Coco Gauff. Big victory there over the hard-hitting Aryna Sabalenka in the women's final. Obviously, congrats to Djokovic beating Medvedev in the men's final yesterday, which was on during the 4:00 games. And I'd love to go to that one day. Would be a great event to go to, but just a lot of fun tennis to watch. And again, just congratulations to Coco Gauff and Djokovic.
Yeah, I thought the U.S. Open was excellent. I had a chance to check out some of those matches. Really good stuff. Love Djokovic. Glad he won. One of my.
I'm not a big Djokovic fan, but the guy can play some tennis. He's one of the best, man.
I respect him. But great tournament, lots of great matchups, and certainly a lot of fun to watch for sure. My final thoughts: week 2,
Hopkinton Hillers.
Fall season. We got a busy week. Check out our broadcast schedule at hcam.tv. And also, what a great week it was to start for Hiller Sports. Girls soccer 3-0, boys soccer 2-0. Football got a beauty of a win against Wayland that went down the last second. Showed some great heart fighting that one out, coming from behind. They're down 19-13 with $1:20 left. Fought their way back. Got the win via a nice extra point after the touchdown. And a great win to start off the season for Hiller football. A lot of new faces on that offense. Some great returning talent as well. They might be young, but I think Hiller football going to have quite a season and be a lot of fun to watch. As I think all of these Hiller fall teams are. It was a tremendous start overall across the board for Hopkinton Hillers fall sports, and we look forward to bringing you some more great games this week. But for the early departed Andy Barron, Jarred Keene, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for tuning in. We'll certainly be back with you next week to talk some more NFL picks and other sports happenings. But for everyone at HCAM, as always, thank you for watching HCAM Sports Talk. Goodbye, everybody. Hopkinton Hillers football is heading into their second year with head coach Mark Sanborn at the helm. Last year, they finished the season with 8 wins and 3 losses, and they were one of the top teams in the TVL. Despite their good record, they just missed the playoffs, but look to take the extra step this season. The team will be under some good experienced leadership.
I'm Charlie Petrini. I'm outside linebacker and slot receiver.
I'm Jason Gerard. I'm offensive tackle and defensive tackle.
Carlos Linton. I'm middle linebacker.
I think the team's been really good. We have a lot of energy every practice. Everyone's been working hard. A lot of competition for spots, and that's good for a team. Pushes everyone to work hard. We got our second scrimmage on this Friday. So.
Yeah, everyone's working really hard. We're pushing each other. Everyone's giving it 100% and a lot of competition for spots.
Yeah, like they said, everyone's working their butts off, competing. You know, every day we come out here trying to get better, and we got big goals for the season. So.
And a lot of returning players, but some new faces. How do the new guys look?
The juniors are definitely stepping up on offense and defense. Everyone's really athletic, and they're going to be a big role for this season too.
Yeah, we lost a lot of key pieces last year, but all the juniors are really filling in those spots exactly where the seniors left, and I expect them to pick up right where the seniors left off.
Yeah, I mean, the juniors are going to be some key players this year. A lot of athletes in that class, and we're just excited to see what they can do.
And do you have any personal goals or team goals this season?
I know we all want to win the TVL championship. That's our main goal, and then make playoffs and do well in playoffs as a team.
Yeah, I'm really focused on the team goals this year. I think the TVL championship's the big one, and we've got to get over the hump and beat Holliston this year.
Yeah, same as them. Just focus on the team, really. Gotta get back for last year, beat Holliston, get that TVL chip.
Head coach Mark Sanborn enters his 3rd season at the helm.
Everything's going well. Kids are working hard. We've had really competitive practices on a daily basis. We not only have good numbers, but we have a lot of guys that can play, and we have a lot of open spots, so we're trying to figure out right now the evaluation aspect and seeing who's stepping up and getting guys opportunities to play in practice and in the scrimmages we've had. And just kind of focusing on the varsity first and then working our way down from there. But everyone's working hard. Seniors are leading by example, starting at the top with the captains. We had a great scrimmage yesterday against Dover Sherburne, and we're looking forward to scrimmaging Concord Carlisle this Friday. So, yeah, all's going well.
This season after your last season?
Well, every season you graduate players, and we lost a number of good players last year, a good senior class on the whole. And part of our job as coaches is figuring out what scheme and what plays and what formations fit our personnel the best. So we've made some adjustments, offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, as well as special teams. But it all started in the off-season. The kids got after in the weight room and really bought in and committed this off-season. So you're starting to see it translate on the field. And like I say, these guys, we're just taking it one day at a time and getting better every day.